So my stroke was on a Saturday. On the Sunday morning, I'm in the room directly opposite the nurse's station. I'm in the important room. And I asked for a bit of paper and a pencil, and I wrote myself down some rules. And I said to him on that first morning, I want to be walking again within 12 months. I want to be bushwalking within 12 months. And I set myself some short, medium and long-term goals. At that point I was completely hemiplegic, so I was completely paralysed down my right side, and I didn't know if it was a realistic goal. But once I started walking, I figured this is doable. 12 months to the day from my discharge from hospital, exactly 12 months to the day I went on a 4-day bushwalk. I finished the walk and I was crying with happiness. I felt 10 foot high and bulletproof. I've got a series of goals now to get me through. I think I ran out of goals at about age 59.
It's really important for stroke survivors, number one, to know, I guess, where they want to head in the future with their recovery. So looking at where there might be some areas for improvement, where they may be having some difficulties, and goal setting really breaks things down for them in a clear way. And I think it's really important to have those sort of staged steps in their recovery to help them moving forward, and also for success. So when they get to a certain point and they achieve a goal, that they can celebrate and then go on to set more goals to get them to where they want to be after their stroke.
Oh, I think self-belief is absolutely critical to everything. I mean, I've got three grown children and four grandchildren. So, getting better for them was important too. So it's just really focusing on some of those basic goals. And like, with my arm, I thought brain plasticity would eventually take over and I'd get some movement back in my arm, but it just hasn't happened. So some things that you really hope just don't happen. So, I thought I'd be walking a lot better by now than I am, but at least I can walk, so that's something to be thankful of.
Set yourself 3 little steps, each couple of days, and you work towards those, and next 3 days do another couple of 3 steps, and just take small chunks, but achieve them. If you can achieve them, you give yourself more confidence, you get the drive to keep on persevering and finding a way. So it's really about finding a way that best suits your needs.
Hope is really important with stroke recovery. I think that it's one of the main drivers to keep going and moving forward after a stroke. So I think that having a vision as well of where you want to get to is really important with goal setting, and we know that that can help. So the medical team are also involved, so the doctors may also want to have some opinion or say in what the goal setting might be based around, whether that's returning to work if they're medically fit to work, or driving if that's a goal, if they're medically fit to be driving. So it is a real holistic approach to recovery.
So my goals were to go back to work. The goals were to run again. I'm an active runner, and obviously one of my big passions was to be physically fit. I didn't want to lose my physical abilities forever. So I set a lot of high goals, and it took time.
Goal setting is very important, because if you don't have goals to try and reach, you may as well give up now, because I have to. For me, it's every day is another goal. Hence why I travel the world. I make sure that I live my life and I do every damn thing that I can. It's nothing for me to just jump in my car and drive to Queensland or whatever.
I actually wrote my goals down at the time, on my birthday 4 years after the stroke. And some of the goals were more personal rather than business. And they focused around spending more time with my 2 sons, seeing my dad more, doing things with Denise, my wife, rather than do things on my own. And happiness for me, all of a sudden happiness had changed. The word happiness to me was my outlook improving, changing my attitude, and being more positive, not just with myself, but people around me as well.
One of my goals was to write a book, and I have reached that. So the purpose of doing that, whilst it's been very therapeutic, is more hopefully to benefit other people.
Some stroke survivors do really well coming up with their own goals, and others may need a little bit of guidance, particularly if there's some difficulties with insight after the stroke. So thinking skills can be affected, and sometimes the therapists are really helpful, I guess, in that situation to make sure that the goals are realistic for that survivor, because you don't want survivors to be set up to fail at their goals either.
Set yourself up for success, not failure. As an inpatient, as an outpatient, as in life, You want to be setting yourself up for good things, not bad things. You don't see tears rolling down the face, you don't see me frowning, and that's a lifelong goal, is to live a happy life, regardless of what life throws at me.